Dear students, let's resume our story, His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty. So, what happened after he dived from the ledge of that precipice? Then a monstrous means frightening, a monstrous terror, fright, okay, seized him, caught him. That means he became extremely frightened. And his heart stood still. He thought that his heart stood still and he could hear nothing. Nothing could be heard. But it only lasted a moment. All these things lasted a moment. He felt this for a moment only. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. Unknowingly, automatically, he felt that his wings spread outwards. Did he spread his wings deliberately? Never. Even without his knowledge. Okay? It's automatically its wings spread outside. That natural instinct would be there. A bird would spread its wings automatically. Okay? The wings are for flying. It is designed for flying. Okay? It's that ability, inborn ability to fly will be there. So automatically his wings spread out. The wind rushed against his breast feathers. So he was falling downwards. Okay? And the wind was rushing against his body, feathers and all. And under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. When he was falling down fast, he felt that feeling of his wings cutting through or against that air. He was not falling headlong now. At first he was falling headlong. Now he is not falling headlong. He was soaring gradually. Soaring means going very slowly upwards. Now he is not falling headlong. He is very slowly going upwards and then downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. When he understood that he was not falling, he very slowly gathered courage. Okay, he was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. At first he felt a little bit dizzy. Okay, because it was a strange experience for him. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. For the first time in its life, he flapped his wings and he soared, he rose upwards, he flew upwards for the first time in its life. See, in science you might have studied the bones of the birds will be pneumatic, okay, air-filled. Okay, so it wouldn't fall down. A bird, even though without flapping its wings, it would never fall down. Okay, and automatically it would stretch its wings. No need to teach a bird to fly actually. Okay, it has got natural ability. He uttered a joyous scream and flapped them again. Now he is not he did not stop flapping his wings. He over and over again he flapped his wings. He soared higher. He raised his breast and banked against the wind. Banked means here B-A-N-K. Bank means to turn. He banked, he turned his breast against the wind. Ga, 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 like that. He was screaming with the joy. Gaula, that reply came from its mother. His mother swooped past him. They were enjoying at that time. Her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him, screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. It was like a celebration. Every bird, all the birds were celebrating his victory. Okay, his first flight. They were enjoying. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. He forgot completely that he was not able to fly before, and commenced to dive and soar, shrieking shrilly. And he started to dive and soar, shrieking shrilly with a very loud, sharp sound. Dear students, please look at the page number 13. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving over it. He turned his beak sideways and crowed amusedly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green floor in front of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with the fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it and he sank no farther. Now he was near the sea now. From the ledge he flew downwards, flying straight over it, and after that he flying straight over the sea, facing out over the ocean. He faced the ocean. He couldn't believe himself. Okay, he couldn't believe that he could fly. He thought that he would never fly, but now he has learned to fly. He saw a vast green sea beneath him. When he looked down, he saw that beautiful green sea beneath him. His little ridge with little ridges. Ridge means the upper edge of the waves. Waves will be there, and upper ridge is called edge is called ridge. Yeah. With the little ridges moving over it, on the surface of the sea, the ridges were moving. He turned his beak sideways. He looked here on each side sideways and crowed amusedly. He turned his beak sideways and he crowed amusedly. He was amused by this. He became very happy. He enjoyed it. Okay, he made that time pass pleasantly for himself. That is, he crowed amusedly with much amusement. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green floor in front of him. So at that time, the whole family, his parents, his brothers and sister landed on the green floor in front of him. Green floor means it looked like a floor to him. Okay, he had seen that surface of that sea for the first time. Earlier, he would look at it with fright. See the surface of the sea, and which was far beneath from the ledge. Now, for the first time, he saw the surface of the sea, and he thought that it was like a floor. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly, and when they landed on the surface of that sea, they were calling. Beckoning means calling him to come onto the surface of that sea. And what did he do? He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. He wanted to stand on the surface of that sea, green sea, and he dropped his legs on it. His legs sank into it. When he dropped his legs sank into it. And he became very much surprised. He screamed with the fright. He attempted to rise again. See, when he dipped his legs into the water, it sank very slowly. At that time he was frightened and he was trying to fly away. He wanted to rise up, but he couldn't do that. He screamed with the fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. He was trying to fly away. He was so afraid to stand on the surface of that water. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. He, with a great effort, he flapped his wings to fly away from the surface of the water, but he couldn't do that. Why? Because he was so hungry and tired after that strange exercise. This was a strange exercise for him. That is, that flying was a strange exercise. For the first time he has learned to fly. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted means tired, exhausted by the strange exercise. His feet sank into the green sea. Slowly his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched the surface of the water, touched it, and he sank no further. Okay, the body of the bird will be very light, so it would never sink, go down into water. Okay, but the bird didn't know that. See, it thought that it would die. Okay, sink, it would go down deep down into the ocean, in the sea, and it would die, he thought. But it didn't happen. When the belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it. Okay, the bird was floating on that water. And around him, his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scrapes of dogfish. So they were in celebration. They were screaming and praising him for his first flight, and all the birds offered him scrapes of pieces of dogfish. Dogfish is a kind of bird. Why? Because he had made his first flight. He had made his first ever flight. Now, let's look at the glossary. The glossary means the collection of that words, vocabulary. Ledge, I told you, ledge, a narrow horizontal projection from a vertical surface. Muster up means to collect or gather. Skim means to glide over water. Trot, run at a moderate pace. Pace means speed. Precipice, a noun, very steep rock face or cliff. Preen means to clean. Wet means to sharpen. Plaintively, it's an adjective. Adverb. Sadly, and monstrous, it's an adjective. Frightening. These are the important words from this story, but so many other words are also there, and I had told you the meaning of all those words. And if you want to know the meaning of some other words, you can consult or look up a dictionary, Oxford dictionary. You should possess an Oxford dictionary, and you can look up any word you want, or you can Google. Okay, it's very easy. Or you can download in your phone. You can download an offline dictionary. Oxford Dictionary. Whenever you want to look up a word, you can do that. Okay, so wherever you are, whenever you want to, whenever you come across a word, sometimes you may be walking or you may be traveling in a bus, and from a board or advertisement, you may see some unfamiliar words. Then you can take your phone and look up that word. Okay, so it's handy. Now some activities are given here. Read and respond. You should write all these the answers to these questions in your notebook without fail. Okay, the number 1, what is the theme of the story? What is the theme of the story? You might have understood the theme of the story. Okay, what is it? That is the fear. In one word we can say overwhelming. Okay, overwhelming, overpowering fear and weakness. That is the theme of the story. Or need for making a leap to fly high in the sky. The next question is, what do you think is the real crisis faced by the young bird? What is the real problem faced by this young bird? What is it? Yes, it's nothing but fear. Yeah, fear. Then the next one, what's your impression of the reaction of the parents in the story? What's your impression about it? Do you appreciate the involvement of the parents in the life of that bird? Definitely we should appreciate it. Without that support from the family, especially from the parents, nobody can achieve success in their life. So it's a very important factor in the life of a person. Okay, you write answers to these questions in your notebook. Next question, identify the words or expressions used in the story to express thoughts, attitudes, movements, sounds, emotions, appearance, descriptions of the birds or places, etc. So how these things are explained in the story. For example, description of the young seagull's legs as long grey legs. Do you remember that? Long grey legs. While it was trotting back and forth and moving with the short steps cautiously, very carefully, that expression was used. Okay, the ledge as, and the description of the ledge. How is the ledge described? A sheer fall of precipice, a sheer steep fall downwards. Okay, steep downwards, sheer fall of that rock, overhanging rock, sheer fall of precipice, and its walk as trotted back and forth. These are the expressions used to explain the movements or sounds or appearance of the bird, descriptions of the bird. So many, and how are the thoughts described, explained here, and how are the attitude of the birds described here, and movement is described here, like this, trotted back and forth. It's about movement. Sound. So how did Liam O'Flaherty, the author of the story, describe the sounds of the birds and emotions of the bird, appearance of the bird? Find it out. Okay. Next, do you think such expressions make the narrative more effective and engage your interest and attention? Definitely. All these kind of explanations, techniques are used to grab the attention of the readers. Okay, these are the techniques used by the story writers. You can also use this whatever you write. So you should learn all these things. Okay, remember all these things. Now, what's the message of the story? What's the message of the story? You will get the message of the story by looking at that small paragraph about the author. Okay, here you can see his first flight relates the importance of independence and self-confidence, as well as the need to remain involved in family life. So that's the message of this story. Without being involved in the story, in the family, no one can achieve success in his life. Now, next is the review writing. Based on the discussion, prepare a review of the story. Okay. First, start writing about the author, the name of the story, the author and the theme of the story, and after that the analysis of the story, and at last you can end with your wind up the review with your opinion about it. How do you feel? What do you feel about the story? Now, activity 3 is a tree diagram. Read the story once again. Identify the factors that prevented the seagull from flying and those that favored his flight. What actually prevented his first flight? That is fear. And then what factor favored his flight? What factor helped that bird to make his first flight? Now complete the tree diagram. So you can see here seagull's life is there. It's divided into two. On the left, failure, and on the right, success. And the factors for failure, but only one factor is given here, that is fear. What are the other factors? Can you say? Yes, fear is there. Then what may have caused the bird's failure? Yes, that is lack of confidence. He had no confidence at all. He believed that his wings would never support him. So lack of confidence was there. Then low self-esteem was there. He thought low about him. He didn't believe in his strong points, in his strength, or in his abilities or skills. So that is low self-esteem was there in the case of that bird. And what are the factors that contributed to his success? One is there. One is given here. That is need. A need was there. What was his need? Need to satisfy his hunger. He was extremely hungry. So without thinking about anything, he jumped towards his mother, looking only at that piece of fish. Okay, he didn't think about anything. So need was there, need to satisfy his hunger. Then encouragement was there. Can you see any encouragement here? Who encouraged that small bird? Young seagull? Father? No. Brothers? No. Sister? Never. Then the mother. No, but not a direct encouragement. Indirectly, she was making him fly by prompting him. See, she prompted him to fly by showing that a piece of fish. So encouragement was there. Then you can write that initial attempt. In order to get success in our life, an attempt should be made. Okay, if we sit there without doing anything, with laziness, we wouldn't be able to attain success. So initial attempt should be there. Okay, so you can write there. Then self-reliance should be there, but here it was not at all self-reliant, but later it became self-reliant when it's connected with the initial attempt, and this initial attempt was made in him by his mother. Understood? After the encouragement came the initial attempt on his part. Understood? And when he made that initial attempt, he became self-reliant, though unknowingly. Okay, but it contributed to his success in the end. Now, activity 4, think and respond. Do you believe that you also can fly high in your life? Do you believe in yourself? Do you think that you can fly high, soar heights, reach up to the stars in your life? Definitely you can. Okay, you always should believe that I can. Never think that I can't. You should have a positive mental attitude. Otherwise, you can never attain success in your life. Now, what sort of support do you expect from your family? What sort of support do you expect? Do you expect that the parents should help you all the time in your life? Whatever you want to do, the parents should come forward and help you? Never. Then you will beg for help all the time. Okay, you cannot do anything in your life independently. Okay, you should do everything by yourself, and when you fail only, you can seek help from your parents. Okay, and after one failure, you should try again with the help of the parents and reach success. Okay, in this way, you should proceed. You should lead your life towards success. Understood? Don't expect help from your parents all the time. Next, can their support alone help you in fulfilling your ambition? Suppose your parents are out there to help you in all ways. Is this enough for your success? Never. Your effort on your part is very important. Okay, you should try your level best. Okay, you should make every stone unturned. That's an idiomatic expression. Make every stone unturned. That means you should try every ways. Sometimes you may fail with the one way of doing something. Try another. Don't leave it there. Okay, when you fail, you should identify the drawbacks, and in your next attempt, you should try to overcome that, avoiding that the causes of your failure. Okay, then only you will reach success in your life. So, parents' involvement must be there, but beyond that, you should have your own efforts. what do you think are the requirements to attain success in life? Write them below. What are the requirements for attaining success in your life? You can write positive attitude, you can write, then desire. There should be a burning desire in you, okay? That should propel you all the time, okay? Or that should push you forward, that burning desire. And then I told you in the beginning, perseverance must be there. Even in your difficulties, that ability to go forward, perseverance should be there in your life. Then self-esteem should be there, self-respect, then hard work. You should work hard. And the new term is there, smart work. See, sometimes you may be working hard without any progress. That's not good. You should work smart. Then only you will reach success. Okay? So, meaningless hard work is not enough. It should be very smart. Looking at, considering or becoming aware of your negativities and positivities. Okay, you should try to avoid your negativities and cash in on or invest. Focus on your positive aspects. Then one important thing is there, especially related to students, that is time management. You should manage your time effectively, then only you will be able to reach success. Okay, don't while away your time. Earmark or separate, keep some a specific time for your studies. Okay, and never study your lessons when the examinations come. You will never score very good marks in the examination. Systematically you should learn your lessons. Okay, so specific time should be given for each and every subject. So time management is another important factor in your success. So here we finish this beautiful story, inspiring story. This story should be should inspire you. Okay, you should learn something from this story and apply it in your life to become successful. Now, after having finished, you must go back to the story very often and read it as many times as you can, and remember all the important words and all the important points from the story, so that you will be able to answer any question that appear in the examination. So all the best.